And the way politicians talk about the number of Palestinian kills can only point to a very deep and embedded racism that exists today, extent that they don't see our lives as equals. How else do you explain the silence of the world to the killing of Palestinian children? And yes, when the seven workers, and we salute their courage, their sacrifice, they are heroes. But every life matters. Why isn't the world concerned about Palestinian doctors who've been assassinated in Al-Shifa hospital? Why isn't the world concerned about the first responders or people who we've seen horrific images of Palestinians going to get the aid that was dropped from the sky only to be shot dead by Israelis? So this war, I think, confirmed to us, and to me this is now an established fact, that the Western leaders don't see us as equals. And what's happening in Palestine today points to the deep to the deep racism that exists in the Western world today, that allows them to normalize a genocide. And this is what I've said this Easter. A genocide has been normalized in our world. And if we are to understand how and why, I think racism is one of the biggest reasons why.
Indeed. You mentioned about your children earlier, and we know that, like you said, 13,000 children and more, possibly much, much more. There are many parents who do not know where their children are. There are many children who do not know where their parents are. I'd like you to talk to me about how does this affect the children? If you can tell us the kind of conversation you as a parent have been forced to have with your children who are watching their brethren being killed every single day. Talk to us about that, please, Rev.
There is now a generational trauma that exists in Palestine because this is not new. From 1948 onward, we've experienced a setback after the other, and nothing as horrific as this, unfortunately. This is very horrific, what we're going through right now, and it definitely impacts our children. To be honest, I try to shield them from the news because the images are horrific, but they ask questions. They try to get a sense of what's happening. They ask us questions, and it's a very difficult thing to answer as a parent. The thing, of course, they follow their father and they know my activism, they follow my speeches, they see me all the time on television. They understand that something seriously wrong is happening. I teach them to pray for Gaza, for the children of Gaza. We teach them that, when you have food on your plate today, many thousands don't have this privilege anymore, unfortunately, hundreds of thousands. So we try to use it also as a teaching tool to remind them of the value of everything good we have right now. But the biggest thing is fear. The fear we have as parents. Will this ever happen to us? How will we respond? We see ourselves hugging our children more these days because we think, will this ever happen to us? We're very concerned about, and the reason I ask this, because if the world was okay with the displacement of 2 million people in Gaza, what will stop Israel from doing the same in the West Bank if it fits their interest? This is, again, a genocide has been normalized, and we're horrified by this.